I really appreciate you joining me for today's video, and today I'm going to be reviewing this Mekur Futur adjustable safety razor. That's a mouthful. So yeah, these things are advertised on eBay, on Amazon, on Facebook even, and they're rebadged and they're given different names. And I'm going to be showing you why I dislike this razor so much. I've had maybe half a dozen shaves. Maybe over a few years ago, and more recently I tried it for another two shaves, and just to make my mind up. So this is how it came. It came in this Ming Shi Shaver 2000 S box, and so it is a Futur adjustable clone, and it has settings that go from half all the way up to 6. And the jaws just open up and it gives more blade gap. Now let's cover why I dislike this razor so much, and we're going to do a shave as well. So the first thing is how the top cap comes off. So it has like a friction type studs, and you pull it off like that. Now as you pull it off, it's very unstable, and if you've got a razor blade in there, I find that it's only kept on by these little posts here, and you're prone to cutting yourself. And a long time ago I did nick my thumb a little bit, and I thought, whoa, that got to be really careful with this. Unlike, where you screw three-piece sets where you screw it on and off and you separate it, you've got more control. This thing you have less control over. So when we look inside the actual razor, there are these two metal holding brackets, these two things, and that's what holds these studs on the let's see if I can get it, on the top cap in. So the two metal bars go across here, and it's just held in place. Now I think that's very unstable, and I think that the blade is not supported at all. It has these lather channels, and these these lather channels here, let's see if I can get that on camera. There we go. These lather channels here, and they're big, and then it has these weep holes underneath. That's a good feature, in case it gets clogged, but you don't really need that feature because I think it's not very useful. So let's put a blade in. We're going to put the Astra in, and then I'm going to show you a couple of things because we'll be able to look at the blade gap. So an Astra blade for me is like my standard blade. It is the blade for which I compare all razors with, and every other razor blade against. I just find that Astra is kind of a standard. It doesn't retain its edge as long as some other razor blades, but for me that's a standard. So it sits the razor blade sits on a very, very small amount of the post, and I don't like that. Then let's carefully put the top cap in. You can see it snaps in like that. Now we'll check the blade reveal, and the blade reveal is fine. It's not great. It's a little bit crooked. And the thing, when you put the top cap on, you can't just manually adjust it as you tighten it to make sure that the blade reveal is symmetrical. I don't like that. The next thing is that when it's on a 0, the whole thing is really, really tight. It's a very solid looking razor. It has a good gap there, that's fine. But as we open it up, let's say we go to, say, a 3.5, what happens is the top cap starts to move, and the whole thing here can become asymmetrical quite easily. So here the blade gap is thin, and here the blade gap is bigger. You can adjust this a little, but then you're messing around with something, and as you set it down to lather up, you have to check that the gap is symmetrical again. So you're worried about the blade reveal and the blade gap. Now let's open it up, and let's be really, really careful because there's a razor blade in here, and have a look at how much movement there is in this thing. This thing moves like crazy. The whole top cap moves, the base plate moves, everything moves on this. And so what I find is it gives a very, very inconsistent shave. And this is the reason why I would not recommend buying this particular one. But what about the future? Maybe it doesn't have these problems. Well, we're going to cover that as well, because this is so thick that when you try to get in under your nose or any detailed work, it's just too bulky. You know, it has these, you know, it protects the tabs, but not only does it protect the tab, it goes way wider than the tab itself. So the thing is really wide, it's really thick, so I don't like it. Now let's get into our shave. Hopefully that answers a lot of people's questions, and this is the last time that I'll ever be using this particular razor. I will never use this again after today. Yeah, I think it's a waste of money, and also it gives people a bad impression of safety razor shaving. So people will think, you know, it's advertised this is the last shaver that you'll ever need. It's fantastic, and it has a lot of marketing behind it, because these guys want to sell this because it's for cheap. I mean, I can't remember what I paid for this. I think it was cheap compared to a decent safety razor. And so, yeah, it's not. And it'll give people a very bad taste and put people off safety razor shaving forever. So I'm going to be using now the Captain's Choice line. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. So I'm on my phone. And the Captain's Choice line is my choice. It's a fantastic slickness to the soap, and it really works. This is top stuff. And full disclosure, I've been paid for nothing. I received no benefits for any of my videos. So I'm going to be using the Yakimoka. I like that. It's synthetic brush. Let's wet the brush and let's wet our face. Can run the water because it's a bit cold. Okay, and then I'm going to knock out pretty much most of the water out of the brush. We've got less than a gram of soap on the spoon, and I'm just going to rub that in, increasing the surface area, and just start to work up my lather. And then just add water as I need it. That way I get always a consistent lather. I know I'm repeating myself but in some of my videos, but it's just what I do. You know, I use, this stuff is so thick and slick that yeah, it's really fantastic. Alright, that looks, I like to knock out some of the bubbles and out of the aeration just to get it a bit tighter. I find that the more foamy something is, usually the less slick it is. Yeah, so we're going for slickness, not Frosty the Snowman. It's only the first kind of couple of millimeters that end up requiring soap. So the more soap that you use, not necessarily going to get a better result. In fact, you might end up having less cushion. This is very loose looking. And if it's a bit loose, sometimes just letting it sit on your face for a little bit of extra time will cause it to dry out a little bit. So rather adding, if you've just kind of put too much water in it, then what I find is just letting it sit on the face and dry out a little bit. And then you'll end up having the lather come together. But not only that, is that I kind of think it has a softening effect as well. Okay, let's test this out. Because this Captain's Choice is super slick. Work it in. And you can see how much I've got and even how I knock out some of the air, and this is fine. We're good to go. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this all the way down to say 1.5. I think that's plenty for this thing, and I've got a styptic pen ready. Okay, this is aggressive. Let's check the... Okay. Yeah, that's pretty aggressive, to be honest. Even at 1.5. Okay, this is like a 6 out of 10 for me. Let's check. Let's bring that down to about a 4. It's just so much blade feel. And now here comes one of the problems, is around the nose area. This thing, there's a lot of blade chatter, I feel. Okay, wow, that's terrible. A lot of blade feel, and it's not that efficient. It's a slick soap. Yeah, I'm not liking this thing. That's okay. I'm not going to aerate this. Just because I'm so cautious with this razor. Yeah, I don't like it. I can already feel it irritating my skin too. So I've got a nick there as well. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all. Yeah. It's just so unpredictable and so bulky and unruly that it's not nimble, it's not light, it's All right. Yeah, I'm not going to do a third pass. I'm switching gears now. I don't like that razor. So I'm stopping. That's the end of that. And I'm going to switch back to something that I like, which is this King C Gillette that I still got on the windowsill with the blade in it. A little bit more water there. Yeah, let's just do across the grain. This is a good razor. For 30 bucks, huh? Yeah, this is just beautiful. And yeah, that Ming Shi Futur, it's just rubbish. That's a rubbish razor. Sorry, but I'm not gonna lie. Just ends up being, when you're using something that unpredictable and that rough, you end up hating shaving. And just a complete lack, you lose all confidence. And with lots of weepers, and it's just not comfortable. Let's have a look. Yeah, not a good shave. Not good. Let's see if I've got any blood. I had something just here. I can't see it. Something a little bit there. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you're gonna get honesty here. Yeah, I don't like it. Alright, post shave, tea tree and witch hazel with a pad to get rid of all the dirt, clean up the face. Yeah, see, not close here. But I'm not going to go over it to irritate my skin. I'd rather just a worse shave than killing the skin. And I'm also using the hyaluronic acid. I'm trialing that at the moment. Yesterday's video I talked about skincare, and I got used to looking at the camera. And I've got a serum here, so let's put a few drops in. And this serum is like gummy. It's very gelatinous. And let's just put that onto the skin. See, just here. So the razor really does make a big difference. You know, the blade, the cutting angle, that gap, how much exposure there is. It just, that thing is tinny, so I'm not recommending it. And finish off with some Pro Raso. in today's shave. Not happy with today's shave. You can probably hear it in my voice. Yeah, I kind of like a really good shave. I feel really good after a really good shave. And today I'm going to be using, again, the Aqua de Jour, and I'm just putting on one spray, as requested by my wife in the morning. Alright, cheers.